most medics in the army are females. They don't have weapons. They don't want weapons. They're not allowed to have weapons in general, medics. But they don't die. Medics don't die. Soldiers die. They're most men. Honestly, I'm just letting you know that. It's like most females' jobs. Females don't tend to die at work. They just don't die.
But if they're choosing to die, that's their own choice at work. If they want to do a risky job, that's their choice.
I understand.
So I don't get what the point is.
But if we don't do
the whole point is that men build the world. We could not function without men. Men allow us to have the jobs that we have. If men didn't do the jobs that they do, we couldn't even work at all.
Men build the world but can barely run it. Have you seen most of the countries are run by men?
That's okay.
New Zealand's one of the best run countries and it's run by a female.
Did you know that
She's the type, like, this kind of woman, yeah, is so privileged, yeah, that she's oblivious and unaware of everything that's going on around her. So, for example, she's in the studio now at this debate conversation event. Whether she got there by walking, the shoes that you wear were either made by boys, yeah, or men, yeah. The car, if you drove, was made by men, yeah. And you never stopped. You just get in your car and drive. You don't even think about, like, how it was made, the effort that went into it, the strength that went into turning the bolts, how to put everything correctly, the weight to lift it. Like she just gets in a car, like whichever way you travel to this debate or whatever, this conversation, like it was like the thing came from men, whether it was your shoes, yeah, your trainers, whether it was your your car, whether it was a bus, whether it was a tube. Like, she's the kind of person, she just gets on a tube, yeah, goes down the escalators in a tube, doesn't think how it was built, while she's on the tube, she doesn't think that each track, yeah, you know, was laid down. Like, she goes, look at the world. It's barely. Men made the world and it's barely running. Forget Trump and Biden and Boris and all these. Forget their individual failures. Forget them as prime ministers and presidents. Think about generally the world, the infrastructure, the buildings, the house, your house, the house that you live in. The house that you live in is barely not functioning. You press the light, electricity comes on. Yeah? You turn on the tap, you know, hot water comes out. You have a fridge that keeps your food from going off. You sleep in a bed. Your bed was made by a man. Your house was made by a man. Your toilet was made by a man. Your stairs were made by a man. Your front door was made by a man. And I'm not on this man versus women and things. I believe people need families. You know, they need marriage. They need, you know, a mother and a father. You got the mother for the nurturing and the mercy and the like loving emotions and so forth, you know, and then you have the father for the, you know, the discipline, you know what I'm saying, the strong example, the you know, the struggle for hard times and so forth, and they both complement each other, yeah. But she's so ungrateful, man. Even the feminists, all these feminists, yeah, extreme feminists, I would say, or feminists, yeah, like, all these lectures you have about by men, you do it in halls made by men. Their feminist headquarters, yeah, the feminist headquarters are bloody built by men. You know, all these universities that you're doing all these anti-men talks, Yeah, they were built by men. The microphone you're using to talk against men and talk about how all men are trash was made by men. Look at men, how men are running this world. They're barely running it. The shoes that you wear, yeah, are not barely, well, unless you're wearing high heels that are uncomfortable and you wear for male attention or whatever. Yeah, so when you're walking in the street, you go click, 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 click. Here I come, boys. Here I come, boys. Here I come. But apart from high heels, that are uncomfortable, but you wear to get attention. Like if you're wearing like comfortable shoes or comfortable trainers and stuff, your shoes are not barely fitting on you. Yeah, the car you're driving is not barely driving. The bus you took is not barely, barely containing you while you travel in it safely. The tube is not barely running. Yeah. The tube is not nearly coming off the tracks, so you're not nearly dying every time you go on the tube. You're just very, 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 very ungrateful. Look at men, they're running the world, they run the world, but they're barely running it. What do you mean barely? Does your light in your house barely work? Does your bed that you sleep in barely hold up? Does your shower that you have barely shoot out water? Does your ceiling barely hold up? Does your front door barely barely hold on and not fall off? Look, the society can't survive without mothers. Every society without good mothers, is doomed. It will fall apart because mothers, while the man is generally out at work, are raising the kids, and they're priceless. If you have bad mothers, no society, no matter how much money you got, no matter how much technology you've got, if a society doesn't have good mothers, it will fall apart because they are the foundation block of society. Yeah.
Most medics in the army are females. They don't have weapons. They don't want weapons. They're not allowed to have weapons in general, medics. But they don't die. Medics don't die. Soldiers die. They're most men. Honestly, I'm just letting you know that. It's like most females' jobs. Females don't tend to die at work. They just don't die.
But if they're choosing to die, that's their own choice at work. If they want to do a risky job, that's their choice.
I understand.
So I don't get what the point is.
That is so ignorant. She's so narrow-minded. She said she's studying to be a doctor. Yeah? He went on to say, look, there's certain jobs that men do that they die. For example, scaffolders, builders, people that work on oil rigs, he's saying that men do a lot of more dangerous jobs than women do, yeah, and so forth, yeah, and men don't mind doing it, And her thing was her combat or her reply to his statements was, well, if they choose to do serious jobs, yeah, that's their choice and it's their fault if they get hurt. You're studying to be a doctor, yeah? Okay, you're going to be a doctor, obviously, in a hospital. That hospital has to be built. So those builders, before you can get your posh title of doctor and this, that and the other, there has to be a hospital that you're working in. Now that hospital is built by builders, and even though you may look down on builders, without no builders there are no hospitals. Without certain inventors there are no stethoscopes, there are no thermometers, there are no tools for you to use. And see, that's what I'm saying. You're the kind of person, you'll be a doctor, you'll walk past a building site, yeah, look down on the builders, yeah, and those same people are risking building floor after floor after floor after floor after floor, yeah, risking their lives, yeah, to build a hospital, yeah, for people to get looked after in, and for you to work in. Because there's no builders, there's no hospital. There's no hospital, you can't be a doctor. So, you're just ungrateful, man. I pray I'd never become as entitled, and that's what I'm saying. So as entitled as this person, man. She's not even, the thing is, it's not just that she's ignorant. It's that she's arrogant and she's ignorant and she's not aware she's ignorant. That's one good thing about growing up on a council estate. When you come from not very much, you realise when things do get better, and as you do progress in life and so forth, you remember not to look down on people because you was also nothing once. You know. Astaghfirullah, man.